What a month to be a Doctor Who fan. For a lot for you, but also big time for me. This has been crazy.
Yes.
Crazy month, mate. So we met Sylvester McCoy.
We did.
For one. Travelled to Brizzy. Met
Interviewed.
a bunch of really cool Doctor Who fans, which has been awesome. Yeah, interviewed, rather.
Yep.
Which, thank you all for watching, by the way. Big
bro.
round of applause to you guys for watching us. If you're new here, hi, my name's Aidan. This is...
Connor, Hannum, how are you? Lovely to see you.
Feel free to reply to that in the comments.
Everyone say hello.
Hello. You can comment on Spotify now, by the way, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Anyways, I also met John Bishop on the weekend.
Yes, you did. I was supposed to be there as well to add insult to injury.
I could tell you were very quiet in the group chat, and I was.
What am I supposed to say? I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you can say I'm happy.
But it should have happened to me.
I will tell you all about that crazy story later in the show because it is actually just a crazy turn of events how that all came about. But
yeah.
Anyways, mate, we've also got some crazy things to talk about. We've got a Doctor Who trailer that's
finally
come out.
Finally. We literally last week when we filmed, we said no trailer, and then I went home and there was a trailer.
So I guess you had to cut out a big section of the podcast where we talked about the fact there was no trailer.
Did you cut it out?
Yeah, of course, because the podcast came out like 3 or 4 days after the trailer came out.
I think I watched that episode.
Just looked like a bunch of numpties, mate.
Well done, Aidan.
Just a pro editor. What can I say?
You. Well done.
So we've got all that in store, plus a brand new Doctor Who animation on the cards.
And do you know what you get at the end of all that? A review of the Survivors of the Flux.
What
do we call it? Redux review?
Yeah, Redux. Yeah, revisited.
The revisited.
Yeah, of Survivors of the Flux, which you all will be waiting on the edge of your seats for.
Everyone's just banging out our doors to hear our thoughts on the Survivors of the Flux.
Make sure you subscribe and follow us everywhere if you haven't already.
Cheers.
50 podcast.
Summer's back, mate. You know what that means? The beers are back.
It means I'm literally like being cooked alive every day.
Oh, that sucks. I feel like I'm in an episode of 42, just constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. The sun's alive and it's angry at me.
But I've been having I feel like the last 6 months, I've only had like 1 or 2 drinks on a pod and it's been like a seltzer or something the whole time. Whereas today, I've got Guinness because I have a problem and it's a Guinness problem.
That's okay. It's a good problem to have.
It is an excellent problem to have.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's like, it's been the last 2 days at work. It's just been like, I've been working in like the sun all day and it's been like actually like really bad.
Yeah, doing what you do, I would hate that.
It's horrible. It's genuinely horrible. You're just sweating all day, nonstop.
I spent like 2 hours on a shoot in the sun and I'm like, that's enough for me, guys. Yeah. I'm going inside to edit in aircon.
Well, it makes you tired and it makes you feel dizzy and I've noticed I work just like worse as well. I'm like making stupid mistakes. And I get a hose and I just go and I'm like,
They would turn to your co-workers with the whole burn with me. Hit them up with a bit of that.
I did. And you know what?
They were like, what?
They still don't talk to me.
I would love to know, just because obviously a lot of our listeners are English. We will get some Doctor Who stuff in a second. Hello. Guinness is obviously a big thing in the UK.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
It's always been a thing in Australia, but the last 2 years in particular, Guinness stocks in Australia must be through the roof because everyone's fucking drinking it. I'm obsessed with it. Yeah. All my mates are obsessed with it. Everyone I talk to, people at work, everyone's like, yeah, how good's Guinness? It's just, and every like bar in Perth is now having to get Guinness taps. Like everywhere you go, there is now Guinness tap because it's huge now.
Yeah, I started drinking it in like 2020, I think.
This is the classic. I was drinking it before you. That Connor likes to do.
Everything you liked, I liked before you. No, I'm just saying, I started drinking it in 2020, and I remember like people not liking it as much as they do now. And I do kind of feel like, it's like, I work what's that? That Better Call Saul meme? I work my ass off for this. You think you take these shortcuts and you're my peer? I dedicated my life to this. That's okay.
To what? To bringing Guinness to making it mainstream in Perth?
Well, someone's got to do it.
Someone does.
I don't know what got me into like drinking Guinness. I think I was following all these like independent pages on like Facebook. Girl drinks Guinness. That kind of thing. Like she would go to like different bars and stuff. And I think there's a guy drinks Guinness as well. And it's just fun. They go to like different pubs and review and all that. What I would like to do one day is actually try a proper like Irish pint, because what I hear is that what you get over in Australia is no way near as good as what you can get in like the UK or particularly Ireland.
Yeah,
So
that's on the bucket list for me.
I would love just to go to the Guinness factory and get a photo.
Yeah, me with Guinness.
Here's the what's it called? What's the big metal tin that it's in?
I know this word, but not in this exact.
This is what I mean with the heat.
Moment.
It's like I can't remember shit.
Yeah, it's at that point now
It's
where
all gone.
we have to turn the aircon off
It's
in the
actually not too
studio
bad here though.
because I've had the aircon on literally all day because I work from home today.
Yeah.
Let's get into some Doctor Who news.
And I was having such a nice day.
Well, I was having such a hot day, as were you. There is a new trailer finally for Joy to the World or Joy to the Worlds. We still don't know. Disney Plus and BBC seem to be arguing over the name, which is fun.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously there was the first poster where the BBC one said Joy to the World, and then the American one said Joy to the Worlds. And since then, there's been multiple times that it's been different, whether it's just like an interview or something where like different people are saying it different in different parts of marketing. So it's really fun.
Well, we'll see when we load up the episode 26. We'll see if it says Joy to the Worlds or Joy to the World.
It's like a Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone versus Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, because they couldn't say it in America or something like that.
Yeah, I watched like a thing online the other day where they had they compared the scenes from the first movie where they had to do alternate takes because even in the movie itself, it's not just the title card, but they had to do alternate line readings for Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone.
That's kind of crazy.
Fun fact for you. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's like they had to change that movie Neighbours, Bad Neighbours.
Because we have neighbours in
we have
Australia.
neighbours here. It's so strange.
So strange.
So
yeah, maybe. And Doctor Who's done it as well because in the UK, the TV movie was called The TV Movie. And in America, it was called The Invisible Enemy, I think. I think I have that right. Someone will definitely tell me if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, no one will mention it.
I love when people tell us we're wrong.
Happens all the bloody time. Mate, what did you think of this trailer for George of the Worlds? Because we've not really spoken about
I'll
it.
say this. I think that it's like, it's made me feel a bit more excited, I suppose. I'm intrigued. I kind of wish they didn't show it in the trailer because I would have liked to have seen it in the actual episode and not have known. But like, there's a scene that like, Shooty's talking to himself, or I should say the Doctor's talking to himself. It's like, this is why you're always alone. This is why people always leave you. And I assume this is the scene that Russell spoke about that Stephen wrote, that it was showing the Doctor's like darker side, which is something that I'm excited to see. I kind of wish they left that out of the trailer just because it would have been cool to see that. It looks quite unique in the episode. I don't know, man. I'm really feeling next to no excitement for it. I would say that it definitely helped get me in the mood. I'm sure on Boxing Day I'll be excited to watch it. I just hope it's not like a slug. I hope it's not like a dot and bubble. No pun intended. A slug. I just want it to be enjoyable.
I think it's definitely going to be more. I mean, people like Dot and Bubble. We don't. But I think it'll be more enjoyable on a surface level than that because it looks like a more fast-paced romp. I watched the trailer and I was very tired. And it was very early in the morning when I watched this. And I thought, this is fun. Oh, thank you, BBC, for dropping at the same time as our first episode of Who to Be Buried With, by the way. Literally the exact second new series came out.
11 p.m. Perth time, it dropped.
It's great. But yeah, I thought the trailer was fun. I've only watched it once, I think.
Yeah.
Which usually I watch this stuff over and over and over and over and over again. But watched it the one time and thought, this, you know what? I'm here for it. I get it. It's not. I don't know why they didn't release this trailer before the scenes. Because the scenes, I think, are nowhere near as good as the trailer.
I agree.
So, I mean, maybe that means the whole episode's not going to be great and it's just a good trailer, but it looks fun. The colors look way better. So something's going on at the BBC/Disney where they're releasing these clips with a shit temp grade on or in the wrong codec or something.
Yes.
So it does look a lot better. It looks fun. I'm here for it.
I wonder if, because it's pretty much confirmed we're going to get a Series 2 trailer at the end of it. I wonder if they'll drop a release date as well at the end of the trailer.
Did you see Russell T Davies said that season 2 is coming sooner than you think?
March?
I think March.
That would be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Series 1 ended like yesterday.
Yeah, not that long ago, eh? And then it's just going to make the wait for season 3
Well, that's the thing,
even
though.
longer.
It's like, yeah, that's the thing, though. It's like we don't even have that yet, even in the pipeline. So it's like we don't. Yeah, we. I mean, I guess we have War Between the Land and the Sea, which then I guess will drop like maybe October next year or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe even early the year after if they want to space things out a little bit. But
Could do.
I've got a feeling Disney
do.
Plus is just ready to get this stuff out and then dust the hands off. We're done.
So
But I think we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next episode of the podcast.
be interesting if like that War Between Land and the Sea is the last thing they do, because you know
It is
that's
weird, hey?
that's a Doctor Who spin-off, not the actual show.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Oh Lord, oh dear, we are in trouble.
But yeah, good looking trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she wasn't too bad actually.
she wasn't too bad. Any highlights? The dinosaur.
Oh God, I just loved it when the dinosaur showed up. Not really. I mean, no. Sorry, I know this is like a podcast and I should be good with my thoughts on it. I too only watched it like once, and there's just something about this special that makes me want to like just cry, not in a good way.
Maybe you're just angry.
I think I am angry.
You're just. It's the heat. It's the
It's
you
the
know,
heat.
You know how
It's the end of the
42
year.
You know how 42, everyone's just angry in it? Like even the 10th Doctor is just like
Yeah.
an angry boy. That's
Yeah.
you right now, I think.
42 could have been a really good episode if it wasn't written by Chris Chibnall.
Facts.
It's just a fact, you know. I think that was his first episode. Who I think.
It was, yeah.
Oh,
was.
to be young again.
Other bit of news is there has been a little leak. It's not confirmed as of the time recording, but I've got a hunch that it probably will get confirmed in the next couple of days.
You got an insider.
Yeah, Doctor Who, The Savages is the next release in the animated
Bro,
range.
they're savage.
So savage, mate. It's one of those ones where the temporary cover art has leaked on like a website for pre-order or something.
That's literally how it leaks every time.
Every time.
Every time that's how shit leaks.
Yeah, these things never catch us off guard because of that. But The Savages, that's a season 3 story, I believe. And you know our boy Stephen, who we met in season 2,
Yes.
is his last story. So,
Okay.
I'm
He
keen
just
for
got
that.
introduced in The Chase.
Correct. Yeah, the end of the chase.
Yes, The Chase Part 5.
6.
Yes.
6?
I think he's in 5, and then he's in 6 as well.
See, I've always thought that, but then I remember watching it this time and being like, "Oh, he's only in 6." So maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed him in 5. I don't fucking know. It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
we're just nerds, and it's
I'm not nerdy enough, apparently.
yeah.
But yeah, The Savages. So another story to slowly chip away at completing the missing episodes.
Aren't they like slowly stopping to do this? That's like, what a sentence. Aren't they slowly stopping to do
Bit of
these?
alliteration. No, it's been a little bit since BBC America pulled their funding.
That
'cause
was it, yeah.
They were wanting to show them on BBC America, but they pulled the plug.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been a little bit of, we're not quite sure the current climate of it, but they do seem to still be coming out semi-regularly. I think they've slowed down a little bit maybe. Or maybe not. They're finding different ways of doing them. Like we've got that 3D... We have that 3D version of Celestial Toymaker that apparently was pretty well received, which I'd be interested to check out actually.
Did you not get the toy maker?
No, I didn't know. So, yeah. So
These are great presents to buy Aidan for Christmas and stuff. Here you go, Aidan. Have another animation.
Thank
that
you.
can just collect dust on your shelf.
thank you. But yeah, so I'm keen for that. It sounds like a good little buy.
Cool. Always good to see that Doctor Who is getting another Blu-ray release. It shows that people actually care about it and want to support it. You
That's
know,
right.
the classic box sets always do well, which is good to see. Mm-hmm. I don't hate Doctor Who. You know, I'm glad it's doing well.
Sometimes don't like it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I'll say that later. Go on.
Is this the time where I talk about John Bishop?
That's what I was gonna make a joke about. Your mum was like, Aidan brought his DVD, and I was like, yeah, the DVD.
It's actually a Blu-ray.
Mum, it's
Steelbook,
actually
Mum.
a Blu-ray.
So, all right, this is my meeting John Bishop, my crazy story. That was all the
Yes.
news, right? There was nothing else we needed to cover.
I don't think so.
It would be great if I did the show notes today, but I didn't.
Oh, it nearly fell again.
So I met John Bishop,
Yes, you
which
did.
was crazy. 2 bits of context.
Yes.
Context number A is that me, you, and our boy Dan were supposed to be going.
Correct.
But things got double booked.
Yes, they did.
And my mum had expressed interest in going to see John Bishop prior. So I said, let's just
Fantastic.
make it a nice little trip out with mum and dad,
Little family night out.
How good.
An outing.
Prior to that, I'd been at a party all day drinking since 9 a.m. So I was pretty
I saw you were doing that. I was
buzzed.
like, oh dear.
I was pretty buzzed when I arrived there, and then more drinks. Mum didn't like the drinks that she got there, so I was drinking her drinks.
Nice.
And was having a wild time, a good time. I took my Flux Steelbook just at the odd chance. I call it a drunk punt. We were in the front row, and I was like, "What if just at the end of the show,
just quickly,
I just hold it up and he does it or something?" I was like, "What's the harm of doing that, right?" So during the show, I had it just under my seat, and John does this bit where he starts talking about his time on Doctor Who.
Nice.
And it's so weird. Like he's talking about Nick Briggs and things like that. It's so funny.
Right, okay.
And my mum held up the steelbook.
Oh my God.
As classic my mum would. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Doctor Who, there you go. Oh, yeah, do you want me to sign that? I'll do it later. And we were like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like the show finished and he walked off stage and we were like, he's probably not gonna remember.
Yeah.
Everyone's like filtering out. And then a stagehand came up to us and was like, "Hey, just wait here." I'm like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Oh.
And then once everyone had left the auditorium, the stagehand pulled us backstage into like the little corridors around the back. And then John Bishop walks down the stairs.
Yeah.
Me and my parents all got a photo with John Bishop each. I got my steelbook signed. I told him how good his show was. I never said how good he was as Dan, which I regret saying.
Right.
But yeah, what a night and a lovely...
Crazy.
You know how sometimes in Doctor Who he's quite reserved and subtle, but you see him do his stand-up, he's quite loud? He's quite subtle in life. Like my dad came out and said, he came across super humble at the end there. Like, so just a genuine nice man and was definitely the most, we've met a few Doctor Who people. We've had a few chats with people outside of like on Twitter and stuff that are in there. But John Bishop was by far the biggest. Like I was starstruck when I saw him. I hardly knew what to say. And I think because he was in the show so recently and because, McCoy is in the twilight of his career, whereas Bishop is huge.
Yeah.
He's doing 4 shows in Perth.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking surreal. And because I was so drunk, I wasn't really that drunk when I met him, but before I was still very buzzed. And we walked out and all 3 of us were like giddy, like kids, like, "Oh my God, what the fuck just happened?" Like we had no idea how that happened. It just was one of those things that I got incredibly lucky. And
Nice.
it was
Incredible.
very nice.
Brilliant.
Equally, if you'd come,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have met him.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, mate.
Silver line. Yeah, thank you for not coming.
Just to add insult to injury. Yeah, no, it's such a shame. It's like, do you know what? Like, do you know what really fucking sucks? Like, I'm not really in like popular demand on the weekend. And it's like, when does I fucking hate when things clash because like, I never really do. Like, normally just on a weekend, my plans is to like hang out and like have a few beers with people. Like stuff that could be moved around. You know? I had like an 18th on the Saturday from like Dan's like stepsister who I've known since she was like a dot. So it's like, oh my God. And then like I swore it was the Sunday and I was like, yeah, I was really upset, but also very happy for you. And I will take that that because I didn't come, it started a chain of events that that led your mum to do that.
Thank you, Connor. Is that what you want from me?
That's okay.
Thank you, Connor.
That's okay. Just press the ink against my chest and I can get it tattooed.
Yeah, true. My steelbook, I don't know whether so he asked how to spell Aidan and I said Aidan, but I don't know whether he wrote an A or an E and I can't quite tell, but I'm just going to say it's an A.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's your third two steelbooks signed, 1 collection set.
Yeah. Everyone in the UK has got like 400 signatures, but in Australia it's pretty rare to get them.
It is.
And I think John Bishop's a rare one to get because I don't think he does conventions and things like that.
No, definitely not.
So, I laugh in the face of people with
Nice.
Peter Davison's signature on 40 different things.
I'd like Peter Davison's.
I want Peter Davison's signature.
Nice.
Yeah, it would be very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's my story.
Well done, Aidan.
Well, thank you. And I
Very
definitely
happy for you.
think that maybe I'm going to be a little bit softer on the episode we're about to review because I just met John Bishop. And whenever he was on screen, I was like, oh, it's Johnny.
It's
Johnny
Dan.
Boy. Look at him.
Dan Lewis.
It's Dan bloody Lewis.
What's the
point of being alive?
I know you're such a huge fan of this episode, so you know I'm glad that you're feeling quite excited and giddy about it.
Shall we get into it?
Should we get into it?
Let's do it. Let's do Survivors of the Flux, baby.
Let's do it.
It is Chapter 5 of Flux, Series 13, the penultimate episode, baby. It was first broadcast on the 28th of November 2021, written by showrunner and executive producer Chris Chibnall and directed by Azur Salim. Now, there is no brief synopsis on here on Wikipedia, and quite often when this happens, I just riff and do something.
Please, fire away.
There's a lot going on in this episode.
Too much.
Yeah, I've got the doc is with Tecteun in the world between the space between worlds, in the void, if you will.
The void between the world and the universe.
Land and the sea.
Yes.
You've also got Dan and Yaz and Jericho going on boat. They're doing a bit of Indiana Jones, boat hopping around. That's fun. And then you've also got Vinda gets very close to Bell, investigating Swarm and Azur.
Yep.
Before he gets taken into the passenger's tummy.
Yep.
Is that everything? Is that all the plot points?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be confusing.
Okay, no, the serpent, the Grand Serpent is infiltrating
Kate's
unit
in it, yeah,
with
for a
Kate,
glorified
meeting
cameo.
Kate and
Because I watched Survivors of the Flux on Monday and I watched Vanquishers today, so I feel like they both blended together. So I'm going to be struggling.
Absolutely, same with me.
Should we just break down just like those points?
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, instead of
about
jumping between like linear, we'll just stick with a plot line.
Do you want to start with Jesus? Do you want to start with Jericho?
Well, let's go. What's your vague thought? Like overall,
my vague
overall
of this episode?
Yes,
too much. Too much. Okay. Look, I enjoyed the franticness of Flux in like War of the Sontarans and Highway Apocalypse. Here I'm like, it's starting to show it's like, you know, it's like bad side a bit, where it's too much for me, and it's just it's like the gimmick is kind of like wearing off a little bit. It's starting to overstay its welcome. You feel like things are getting a little bit stretched out further than they need to be. It's funny because I feel like, you know, it's like a complaint I had about Empire of Death, where it's like, you know, this time's meant to have passed, but like you don't feel it.
No,
and
yeah, you're right.
They're meant to be like traveling for like 2 years or something like that, and I don't know if you don't really get that.
No,
like
not
feeling.
At all. There's one scene in the Vanquishers where they mention it, but other than that, you don't get it. Yeah,
exactly right. And although it's kind of cool to like, you know, people were like excited because it was like, oh, okay, we get to see like Tecteun and we know the Timeless Child storyline and stuff. But I think that stuff is just like still quite underwhelming, and also nothing necessarily really does get like explained. So it's like you do kind of see her, but it's like, you know, up to the audience, I suppose, to figure out what happened, or maybe another writer. What about you?
So you're going to hate what I'm about to tell you.
That's okay.
But I think I have cracked how to watch the Whittaker era of Doctor Who.
Okay.
So I, as you know, quite often watch the classic, when we've got like 6 classic episodes to watch in a week. Sometimes I'll just watch them at 5 a.m. before I get ready to go to work at like 5:30.
Yeah.
And that's funny. They kind of give off Saturday morning cartoon energy when you're watching them. Like, because it's never... Well, most of the time with Classic Who, it's not overly deep. It's pretty easy to watch. Sometimes there's 10 minutes of them just running through corridors, you know? And I don't think Jodie's era is far from that. And because these episodes are longer, I've had a bit on, I've been getting up the last 2 days. I've got up at 4 a.m.
Christ.
I started Survivors of the Flux at 4:15 yesterday morning.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And you know what? I was like, this is shit, but I'm having fun.
Well, I'm sure it could be quite energizing and like wake you up. Well, because it throws you around so much.
Well, I think it's more like, because you're not quite there yet in the brain, and you're there with a coffee, and you're sort
and
of
your yogurt.
no yogurt. I don't eat breakfast anymore. Actually,
Okay,
that's
fasting.
changed since we last had this chat.
You don't break the fast.
I don't break the fast. Yeah. So, but because you're sat there like that, you're like, kind of, you're not passively watching because I make sure I'm properly into it. But there's definitely times where I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have to think right now because it just happens. There's a Chibnall's Who, particularly episodes like this, is like things just happen and they're just telling you what's going on. And I guess like a big problem with this episode in particular is it just tells you it just says a lot. Like there's a lot of words, a lot of talking, but it means nothing a lot of the time. Like it really means nothing. Like they'll be like, oh, we're going to go fly the spaceship into the saucer and then we'll come back and then we're going to land on the Earth and then we're going to fire another gun and then we're going to do the spaceship and then all this stuff's going to happen. But yeah, you got that right, Dan? Yeah. But I'm amazing in this episode. Because Dan's great.
He is great.
He is great.
He has nothing to do, but he's great.
Yep.
Well, that's what I've been saying the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, just because we love Johnny Boy. There's literally, because there's a line. God, it made me laugh. There's a line in it. So, this guy, they're on a boat, Jericho, Dan, Yaz, they're on a boat. This guy comes in, like, you know, with a tray, like, delivering food. And he starts to attack everybody. And then I guess he's like losing the fight because like, and this is real. People used to like hide poison in like teeth.
Yeah.
And they crack it. And then, so he does that and then he like collapses to the floor dead. And then Yaz goes, poison hidden in his tooth, cracked it. He's dead. And it's like, is he?
Facts.
Didn't just fucking see that, did
yeah.
I? And then it's like, okay, how desensitized are these people now? Because it's like, it's actually kind of funny. I couldn't help but laugh because it's funny, but it's like, oh, we'll just roll him on the bed. And Dan's like, that's where I've been staying.
I thought that was
And
so
it's like,
funny.
Okay, well, we'll just throw the body over the the deck of the ship at night when no one's watching. It's like, damn, Yaz, do you not care about this dead body in the room? You're just going to throw it overboard? How desensitized are you?
I do think John's line is meant to be funny when he says, under the bed, that's where I've been sleeping.
That's where I've been sleeping.
Because I think that's genuinely funny.
That's so funny.
But yeah, let's talk through their plotline then, shall we? Because
sure.
They start in
Egypt.
I
almost became a kebab. It's funny.
There's this whole silly pulley system of just the old dogs going up and down. Dan reminds me of a golden retriever just in general, and so does John just as a person as well.
Sure.
Like there's something about him, the long floppy hair, I think, and just like kind-natured, wants to make everyone be
and
happy.
his love of kebabs.
And his love of kebabs. Yeah, so they're trying to find an ancient artifact that tells the time of doomsday or something.
We
like
know
the
it's
end of the
December
world.
5th. We just don't know what year. So this episode aired on December 5th. No, that's sorry.
Next week.
Aired December 5th, which is cool. I like that. It's like Series 5 type shit where the final aired on the day that was predicted in.
Cool.
Yeah. So they know it's December 5th. They just don't know what year. So they take the artifact.
Can we just,
Yes.
Can we just say they don't know what year, but they have just left 2021 where the Flux is very clearly coming to destroy the Earth. But they can't figure out what year it is.
Correct.
That this Armageddon's going to happen.
That is true.
Surely we're missing something, right? Because
I don't think so. I actually don't think so.
If we were having this chat and we'd gone back to 1920 or something, and just before we left here, there was like nukes going off and things, and we come back here and we're like, oh, the only way for us to get back is to find the year that all this stuff happens or whatever.
Yeah, I specifically remember that line because I noticed it the December 5th thing. I was like, okay.
But I would assume
that
2024 is when the shit's going down.
I would agree with you.
But no, it's okay. They're not quite clever enough.
Well, no, to be fair, well, it's December, so December 5th, that means there's only how many days left in the year? There's 31 days.
So I don't know if it's 2022.
Yeah.
Well, I should have said that.
It's very close to the end of the year.
That's
do you know what? There's a line, it made me laugh so much first time I watched the episode. It's not even that funny, but like, they go to like China or something to get this woman to like decrypt the artifact, and then someone leaves like a piece of dynamite.
Yeah.
And then Jericho grabs the old woman and he's like, this way, away from the imminent explosion.
So there's that.
That made me laugh
And
so much.
what made me laugh was Yaz goes up to the dynamite and puts a cloth on the top.
Yeah, just like,
and she goes, that'll have to do.
yeah, that'll have to do for now.
Yaz, what is that going to do?
It does nothing. It blows the entire shop up. Okay. And it does have this kind of like Indiana Jones vibe, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's Indiana Jones on like a low budget.
I wish the gun had played into that a bit more with the score. But
Sure. Cigar, where you at? Huh? What you been doing? Do you like all the, like the, what's it called? Like, is it like overlay where it shows footage and it has like the maps in the
yeah, like
background
the
and
phase
that,
of it, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I liked if you actually look at some of the footage, it's a bit silly. Like there's a moment of Dan just like looking through maps and he's just like looking at them and then throwing them on the floor. He's just like,
Yeah.
fuck, guys, we're on the wrong
Yeah.
fucking boat. Where are we?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, John, your direction is just to like be confused and go through maps because you're trying to figure out where you are. All right, got it. Oh, not this one. Not this one.
This episode strikes me as like they started filming with about 5 pages of script and then they just like made it up as they went along because so much random stuff happens. It's insane.
It's a mess, and I generally like it's like so different to like I think the first 3 episodes are actually really fun and quite it handles that like craziness quite well. And I far from hate these episodes. I still think Flux in general is fun. But this is definitely like where I start to go like, okay.
It's getting a bit grim.
This is a bit like
Yeah.
I can start to see the cracks forming a little bit more than I would like.
Defo. So we have all this boat stuff. I'm on a boat. We already sort of talked through that. It's a bit fun. There's a moment where Jericho, after they've thrown old mate overboard, he goes, I very much didn't, I can't say I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah. Well, I love Jericho, so
I like him, but it was just like a silly line of like,
I can't say
I don't know. It was
enjoyed
just,
that much.
it was just a bit silly. And then Yaz gets the hologram of the doctor.
Oh, I hate that.
And this is the first moment of Cutie Pie Dr. Yaz moment, right?
It's so fucking cringe.
Yeah, I don't like this like surprisingly pre-recorded message. I know it adds up in the timeline. There's a moment where the doc could have done it, but it's just like, and they start replying to each other, and then she's like, "Oh, I hope you said that thing because
Yeah, that'd
if
be
you
really
didn't-
dumb if I didn't. Did you just call me a big head or something like that?
you just call me from the."
So she says that they just left the planet Time,
That's right. Yeah. So it's just pre Village of the Angels,
but
but
when they left the planet Time, the angels attacked the phone box pretty fucking quickly.
Yeah, well, they had to drop Vinder off.
Okay.
And remember, Chibnall's TARDIS takes 10 minutes to travel to locations
True.
as set up
Yeah.
in Revolution of the Daleks.
10 minutes to we're in Osaka. Okay, so she dropped Vinder off and then she's like, I'm going to quickly record this video.
Yeah, just like BRB, got to update the vlog.
Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, the vlog. I just hate that like whole thing of like, yeah, the recorded message. And it's like, I hope you said that. Otherwise it'll make me sound stupid.
Yeah, cringe.
I'm not here for it. I think it's Fudazi. It's Fudazi.
Yeah. They travel to Nepal to meet what do you call them?
My God.
Like a hermit that
Dude, this shit is the funniest.
I forgot about him. And
I
then
love it.
the moment he rocked up, I was like, this is so good.
But so the next day, the day that episode came out, I went on Twitter and was like, I hated that scene. I think it's so
funny.
fucking funny.
I'm teasing you.
You didn't even bring a newspaper? I'm teasing you again.
It's so dumb.
It's so random.
It's so random. Everything they do in this
Yeah,
episode
it's
is
so random.
And then he goes, fetch your dog.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's Carvanista.
So they decide to decide to go to the Great Wall of China
Correct.
to paint fetch your dog.
Well, when in Rome.
I guess. Yeah. They paint it so that Carvanista can see it in the future from the sky.
It doesn't make any... I don't have a time machine, as the Carvanista says.
Jericho also temporarily grows a beard.
Dude, that is so fucking
Which,
funny.
you know, we all know about it. It's a popularized thing. But it does have to be a goof of the week.
I agree. I love that just for one scene.
It's one shot, man.
One shot, he just has a beard.
It's so random.
Did no one notice that?
I honestly have no idea how that could even happen.
Because it could have been cut, because the line's just something like, I guess we won't know if we're right or something like that.
The only thing I can think is if there is two very different scenes that they've cut together.
Maybe.
I don't...
Because Dan has a beard. He has like a fake...
Yeah, his is consistent.
He has a fake beard and his is consistent. But Jericho, the whole time they're painting, doesn't have the beard until the last...
Just one shot
And
at
it's
the end.
huge as well. It's like a big like beard.
I have no idea. I honestly... Yeah, all I can think is that two very different scenes were cut together to make this work.
I do think it's cool though that they're in because of what happened in Vigil of Angels and
They're stuck in the
sent
past.
back into. I like that. I think that's cool. That's quite unique.
Yeah, that's cool.
Haven't seen that before, to my knowledge.
No, you're right.
Thank you. Can't remember a time I was goddamn wrong.
So then they travel to... Oh, they bump into Mad Mole there, and then they travel to Liverpool because they're like...
That's how it ends, and they go to the doors.
Yes, but how do they get from China to Liverpool? Like, what's the narrative thread there? Did they see the Mad Mole in China?
I can't remember.
It's so much shit happens.
Honestly, I can't remember.
They travel to
Seriously.
Liverpool. They meet the Mad Mole. They have a chat. And there's a bunch of doors around. One of them has death behind it. What? What's the line? Give me the line.
Dan going up to the man was like, "Are you real?" And he smacks him. He's like, "Does that feel real?" He's like, "Ah!"
Fuck, Dan's good.
It's just funny.
So funny. Yeah, so there's all these different doors and different times.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we get into attack. And that's the end of their story for the episode.
Correct. Because they're working with the Grand Serpent. Ooh.
Which is a good segment. It's a good segue. Or segue. Someone correct it.
Don't let that person get to you, Aidan.
Apparently some fucker said I said segue wrong in the comments, which...
Like you're so perfect. Did you get to interview Sylvester McCoy? Didn't think so. Next.
Anywho.
Sorry,
the Grand
folks.
Serpent.
Yes. What do you think? This is kind of cool.
I really like this part of the story. Now, there's one thing later on where he should have just put the snake through Kate. That sounds sexual. Not what I meant.
Nah, she says she has a thing.
Oh, she has a thing that stops the
She
snake.
says she has a... yeah.
I stand corrected then. Okay, never mind. Well, let's work through the story then, because I think it's a really strong part of the story. I love the idea of seeing the origins of Unit and someone infiltrating Unit from the very beginning and seeing the old costumes and things like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And so I guess I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was like, doesn't he turn into a snake?
Yes, I was going to say we've got the answer.
He doesn't turn into a snake, but he controls like this like snake.
That goes into him?
Yeah. It's really weird.
But I like laughed when I saw that snake. I went, oh, yes, we were right. There is a snake.
How you doing, folks? All right. I do like this. I think it's really cool. Definitely probably the best part of the episode for me. And what's his name? Craig Ferguson?
Parkinson.
Craig Ferguson. Sorry. Craig Parkinson. I think he's a really good actor, and I think he does the role really well. And like the introduction to Unit is really sick. The little Brigadier voiceover is cool. New chap. He yells a lot. It's cute.
Yeah. The audio bite is very bad that they play, right? I can't even tell what they're saying.
It's probably from some like Third Doctor story.
Yeah, something.
Maybe it's from Robot.
I like the first scene where he starts talking with the guy that wants to set up Unit. I think that's really cool. I do wonder whether audiences that aren't fans that have watched these episodes a couple times before the next episode comes out pick up on who the Grand Serpent is, because it was a couple episodes he was in, didn't have a massive impact in that episode, and he just rocks up as like a bloke on Earth, very different costume, very different vibe about him. So yeah, I think that could confuse people. This was the episode where my dad stopped watching Who, because he'd watched it all the way through until this point and then went, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. He's in the 60th specials, but that's it.
Wow, okay.
So I do think it's little things like that that just make you quite confused, especially when people are just talking at you and you're like, I just don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
I see.
And then a funny moment so I had that thought, and then a funny moment once he agrees to join, help set up Unit, he just turns around and shoots the sky. And I know he's aiming for birds and stuff, but he literally goes, yeah, let's set up Unit.
Yep.
It's like, no one launched a clay pigeon for you.
Nah.
There's no birds flying there.
I hope they are clay pigeons as well.
It was just a little thing that I just think was a bit dumb in terms of
It's a cool thing to do.
Maybe direction, maybe or
Let's
like
do it now. Fire in the sky.
yeah, it's just like it just doesn't really make sense. It just looks silly. Like not real people don't just do that, you know. But Prentice does.
Yeah, real people don't have snakes coming out of them either, but that's all right.
I do. What do you think of all the deaths?
Very interesting. This is the best part of the episode for sure. The CGI is very ropey, but you know what you're gonna do. I like how you see the TARDIS and stuff. All that unit stuff is really fun. And Kate, obviously it's actually super fun to see her and Gemma Redgrave as well. I just really like her, and I think, do you know what's so funny? So it hadn't leaked that she was in Flux, and then in the trailer for at the end of Village of the Angels, they just showed her in. I was like, it would have been so cool just to have seen her pop up.
Insane.
She's kind of like a glorified cameo here. She's in the next episode more. But it's cool to see her. It is. It's good to see that she's been with every Doctor but X since New Who.
Yeah.
So that I like.
So the Grand Serpent is basically like every fucking decade he's like trying his hand to be like, let me run unit, and they're like, no. He's
Over my dead body.
well, I'll kill you then.
Yeah, dead.
And then next person comes in 10 years later, he's like, I want to run unit. And
Over
they're
my
like,
dead body.
dead. Rinse and repeat until Kate's there and she's like, I saw through you, you snake.
How did you know?
How did you know I'm a snake?
Just instinct.
So then he tries to blow up her house and there's a weird shot of her
That
like,
shot, yeah. Whoa! That is so
bad.
Oh, Flux.
Azur
killing
Salim
me.
has his moments as a director.
You're
for better or for
really
worse,
killing
I think.
me.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens, and then that's and then it ends with him sort of letting the Sontarans into the shield,
Yes.
right?
We've come to an agreement.
Eat chocolate.
Chocolate
Meanwhile, the Doctor
is with
Tecteun.
Tecteun and an Ood.
That's right.
I
So
like the newish Ood design. It's a bit updated.
yeah, the Ood looks good. Good chance for the Ood as well. Yeah. I thought it was dumb that the Doctor at the end of Village of the Angels. No, it's not Village of the Angels. It's less dumb.
Okay, what are you gonna say?
I was going to say at the end of Once Upon a Time, she flashes to see Tecteun. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they do Village of the Angels, and then the Angels take her there.
Yes.
So I was going to say it's dumb as she went there at the end of Village of the Angels.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So the Angels, the Division Angels, are transporting the Doctor to Division.
Yeah.
Division. There's no one there except Tecteun. Would have been. I know it's COVID. But it would have been much cooler if there was some people working there.
There's an Ood.
But there's an Ood and Tecteun.
The Ood doesn't have to wear a mask.
True. Just got
Prosthetics.
got
The
tentacle
actor
things.
doesn't wear a mask between scenes. It's got a prosthetic face on.
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic.
Tedic.
Prosthetic.
There you go.
Thank you. It's the sun.
Just saving the guy from commenting. for you in the future.
Prosthetic.
Prosthetic, baby.
Thank you. I gotta be careful with everything I say now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So their Tecteun's there. And here's the best and the worst thing about this episode. I really enjoy all the stuff between the Doc and Tecteun. I think it's super interesting. And I do really like it in this episode. I think the scenes are really cool. I love just the kind of beef. I really feel what Chibnall's doing with the whole adoption narrative, because he just said he was adopted and that the timeless child is his reflection of that. And I really do see that in these scenes in particular where he's angry, where she's angry and she's like, you know, you basically changed my life. Like, I don't know the life I could have lived. But the Tecteun's like, I gave you this life.
Right, because she's like, you didn't know if people were coming back to grab me. You didn't know what was behind the portal.
Yeah.
I hate this bullshit about the Doctor or whatever. Who
Well,
cares?
I get that, but let's just work with what we got here. Yeah, and I also think the idea of the Doctor's mother, I think the circumstances of the time as child makes it quite messy, but I think that's a great enemy, and Tecteun could have been like the new master that returns every few years or something.
She's dead.
But no, she doesn't even make it to the fucking finale. She gets touched and turned to death.
Yep.
Tecteun tells them about the plan, how the Flux was created to kill the Doctor But to fuck off the Doctor.
It's a bit overkill, isn't it?
Bit overkill. Bit
Destroy all the
overkill.
universe.
Yeah.
So, no, I'll ask you that next episode. I like the watch and stuff, the fob watch.
Yeah, the watch is there.
Which always
hanging
makes
out.
a comeback. The Master mentions really cool. It's like, was the Master not lying? And it's like, no, he wasn't.
But I do like the idea. My headcanon here. I had to explain what headcanon was to someone the other day, and it's really hard to explain.
It's like, I guess you explain it as like your
It's like my
theory.
fan fiction in a way, I
your
guess.
fan theory, yeah.
So my fan fiction here is that we still don't know the origins of the Doctor. And it's just another thing that like some lady has said she's the Doctor's mother. And that's all we know, because she could have gone off to Gallifrey and edited the Matrix so that because she wanted that legacy to her or something like
So
that.
Trial of the Time Lord was a load of shit.
All of it's a load of shit, mate. It's Doctor Who. It's Doctor fucking Who. That sounded like 13's theme, man.
Thank you, Sigurd.
Yeah, so.
Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah, there's not much more to that. It's just some good character beats between them, I think. And then Azure and Swarm rock up.
And they're like, "G'day, mate. How you going?"
Fuck you, Tecteun.
Yeah.
Tecteun's like,
gonna get rid of her.
And then they give us basically the same cliffhanger to episode 2 where they go up to Jodie instead of Mandip this time.
And then go, "It's time to die."
Wow.
5, 4.
And
Is that it?
that's it for Jodie. But then we also have Vinda. Yeah, Vinda goes to find Belle.
Is Belle in this episode?
Yes.
Okay.
So Belle's ship. So Carvinist. For some reason, a Lipari craft separates from the field, from the force field, the shield,
And then she goes and
she's in the Lipari ship, and Carvinist is like press auto delivery, and so her ship goes into hyperdrive to then come and join the Lipari shield and fill in that gap.
very convenient.
And so Vinda's like, oh, someone just used their hyperdrive.
That sounds like my girlfriend.
That's it. And then Passenger absorbs him. And he wakes up on a beach.
Better luck next time, darling.
And then that's it. That's Survivors of the Flux. I think we did a good job with that,
Hey.
considering how crazy
I
this
got my
episode is.
narratives mixed with the episode I watched today.
Yeah, they're very connected.
Yeah, it's a bit shitty.
Yeah.
It's not great. There are certainly, but definitely enjoyable. I think it's funny because I give Russell so much shit. By doing all these like 60th like rewatches and YouTube videos, I've been really analyzing his work. But like, it's just chalk and cheese, completely different. Like these, like that compared to like the 60th, which I'm very harsh on. But watching like Survivors of the Flux versus like the Giggle that I watched like Tuesday night, it's just so different.
I'm definitely way softer on Chibnall and Jodie's run when there's good episodes, because I think, there is a couple of really good episodes in there, but I think a lot of the ones that are just sort of good and just do a good job at it, I think a lot of them would probably be on the mid to lower tier if it was like a Russell or a Moffat series. But I still will give it like a 7.5 or something in Jodie's run, just because you don't just want to sit here and moan and give fucking 2 out of 10s all day every day,
I describe it like it's kind of like fast food for me, Jodie's era. Like it's it's not like obviously like nutritious food, but it's enjoyable in its time.
Fills the hole.
Exactly, and you're like sometimes you really crave some like a greasy burger.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Eat like
That's
a
definitely what
slop.
Power of the Doctor is.
Oh yeah,
greasy
100%.
burger where
And I
it's
think
like-
some of the Flux shit as well is definitely like that.
Yeah, where it's like there's nothing substantial here, but I'm having I'm having such a good 50 minutes.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of
Is
10?
it 90?
Power is, yeah, but what would you give it out of 10?
5.
5. Gee whiz.
What did I get before?
7.
Oh,
No, hold on. No, sorry. You gave it a 7.5.
oh, monsieur.
Fuck it. It does not deserve this. But I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
What'd you get before?
A 7.
Nice.
Which was so soft on it.
So you've updated your score and you've done it.
I've raised it higher. I think I just watched it at the right
raised
time
me
where I was like, this is good. On that note, mate, I have just seen our scores for Power of the Doctor. 7 and 7.5.
Too low.
Too low.
Too low.
Should be 100.
Who gave it 100? 100 out of 10. Who
Yeah.
gave it 0.5?
You.
And I liked it more, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though I've watched it like 1,000 times.
I've watched it a few times, but I'm waiting for that like beautiful. We're only 2 episodes away now from it.
Yeah. We got a good New Year episode that we'll review over the New Year weekend.
Oh, baby, I'm salivating.
And we do have to do the Vanquishers as well before that. But news for you guys, you're going to get a bonus episode this week so that we can do Eve of the Daleks on New Year's. So there will be an extra episode drop during the week at some point, which will be our Vanquishers review. Hence why we've watched them both. And we keep referencing that throughout this episode. So yeah, we got to do Vanquishers, then we got to watch Eve of the Daleks, which I'm so excited for.
I didn't watch the Vanquishers. What are you talking about? Could you imagine?
Can't wait to do that next week. Then we have to do Legend of the Sea Devil.
Interesting.
And then we get Power of the Doctor, which I'm just going to eat that shit up.
Nice. It's the McDonald's of Doctor Who.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks. We'll see you very
soon. In a couple of days, maybe?
You won't be seeing me again, but I'll be seeing you. What's that from? 5, 4, 3?
You won't be seeing me again? No, I literally pictured it, and then the moment you said 5, I was like, I've not got it. Now let me think genuinely.
I'll do it again.
It's River Song.
You won't be seeing me again, but I'll be seeing you.
River Song.
She doesn't say it. She's in the scene though.
You won't be seeing me again,
but I'll be seeing you.
It's Canton Elliot Delaware the Third when he's...
Isn't it Everett?
Everett Delaware the Third when he is older and he's just set the Doctor on fire.
Doctor Song.
The Doctor is dead in this scene.
Amy.
Not alive.
Rory.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Canton. And rest in peace, that old man.
Oh, bless.
Love you all. Thank you very much. Subscribe, follow, do all that jazzy stuff. You probably already have if you're still here at this point in the pod.
Oh, you're too sweet.
And
if
we'll see you next week.
At this point in the show, comment down below River Song. I love when I see people do that.
Yeah, but I always forget we've said that.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? Yeah.
Why are people saying you suck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's because I told them to say that.
Oh, brilliant.
It's Aidan's and Connor's podcast. We're doing Doctor Who reviews. We're doing Doctor Who review.
Sagan.
Bit of dubstep. Yeah, Sagan score. Sagan Sidemen theme.
They're going down the hallway.